And we are on. Hello and welcome back to Sports Unhinged. Guys, we've been away for 3 years. Bringing back the...
Way too long, way too long.
Way too long, huh?
Not much has happened in those 3 years, really.
What happened?
I'm in Canada.
I had kids.
Well, so nothing.
Good to be back.
Is it still cold in Canada?
It's freezing. It's minus 40 and it's September the 9th. Not really.
Summer then.
Not really. No, it's beautiful.
Cool. Good to be back. And Mohammed, thanks for setting it up again.
Thanks.
Excellent.
So we're going to talk some NFL.
Let's talk some NFL. The game is starting first game is starting in a few hours.
Yeah, I think that's
Tampa Bay against the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys.
I don't see
before we go into everything else, what do you think happens in that game?
Tampa. I can't see Dallas doing anything, but I've been wrong 1,000 times, but I think Tampa.
Well, it'll probably be good to see Ezekiel back. See how Dak works out.
Yeah. I've got Tampa by a lot. Yeah. I think if Dallas scores a touchdown and a couple of field goals, they'll be lucky.
And big pressure on McCarthy as well for Dallas this season.
Yeah. And Dak Prescott after signing that contract as well.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well, again, any team playing the NFC East, it's got to be competitive.
Since we're on the NFC East, let's start with your Eagles. What do you think happens there?
Must we?
Yes.
Well, no big hopes, obviously, right? But so many unknowns going into the season, the coaching staff and Jalen Hurts, its quarterback. So we'll have to wait and see what kind of offensive scheme comes up. Sirianni's got all these Colts guys around him as well. So many of the Colts coaches he's brought forth. But let's see how it goes. There are some positives. Yeah, it's not a crazy schedule by any means. Plus, you're in the NFC East, so you've got some kind of chance. We know Washington's going to do well, but there is some hope as long as you're in the NFC East.
I'm trying to see here who you've got. The Atlanta Falcons as the first game.
We got the Falcons starting up, and then we got I think tough offensive games coming up after that. KC, Tampa Bay. They have the Niners right after as well. So it'll be good to see how the defense works as well, because there's a new coordinator there as well.
Right.
The strength of the Eagles is on both lines, offensive and defensive lines. So it'll be exciting to see because there's some new blood as well. And
there is, but the thing is, the East is always very unpredictable. And I think this is the first year that I see it's pretty easy to predict what's going to happen there.
Washington.
I've got big hopes on Washington. I think Washington is the only team that ends up with a winning record in that division.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I can see Washington going to the championship game.
Oh, yeah.
I do too.
Defensively, they've got a great roster defensively.
They've got a good coach.
And a good coach.
They really built properly, so...
Right.
So, no,
So that's
record.
It.
What's your record for the year?
Well, I'll be happy with a 7-10, I guess. But most likely it'll be a 6-11.
I've got you guys down at 6-11. Yeah.
6-11 looks like what it could be. But again, I said the schedule isn't crazy, isn't too tough. Yeah. KC, Tampa Bay as well, but still, it's not crazy. Nothing is expected, so that's good. I won't feel bad in December. Probably have a really tough start, October, September, but I think we'll see some improvement in November.
Right.
Sirianni comes in, does his thing. Let's see what the schemes are. He'll probably use a lot of tight ends and RB passes and stuff. That's what
You've got Devontae Smith on wide receiver. I think there's a lot of high hopes on
there is. He looked good in places during the preseason. Not great, but
Right.
But they'll be looking at mainly running backs, tight ends, that kind of situation. That's what we're looking at. Let's see how it goes.
So it's safe to say Washington wins that division. Philadelphia and Dallas, I think, both end up with a 6-11.
Well, the rest of the three teams, you can separate them. Even the Giants. Even the Giants.
I don't know. I mean, the Giants, if Saquon Barkley stays healthy, they might be able to pull something off. But
Yep.
I don't see it. I've got them down 3-14, actually. I've got them down having a disastrous start.
They might be one of the teams that surprises you.
Who knows?
You need 3 wins from your divisional games.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Because
At
to get
least.
wins outside of that is going to be fairly tough.
Right. How about
Chicago.
you, Mark? How are your Chicago Bears doing?
I think it sums up in 2 words: Justin Fields. It's when he starts. It's not if. It's when. Bears Twitter is all full of why is Andy Dalton starting on Sunday against the Rams and all this kind of stuff. I'm not really bothered about him missing that game, to be perfectly blunt.
Yeah.
But I do see the Bears having a winning record. I think a 9-8 is achievable. It's a really tough schedule.
It is. Yeah.
Start in Los Angeles against the Rams, and Bengals come to Soldier Field for the first home game, and then off to Cleveland for the third game, then home to the Lions. So you want to be 2-2 at worst, really, after a start like that. And I think that's easily achievable. I actually think, and obviously we're going on record here, I think the Bears are going to do okay on Sunday night in Los Angeles. The Rams have lost quite a few pieces from their defense. They've lost their coordinator as well. So they're in a little state of transition. They were brilliant last year, let's face it. Yeah. Really good. Also, Matthew Stafford, really,
You know him well.
Exactly. So the Bears know him, and it depends how much Sean McVay's got to Matthew Stafford over the off-season.
But the Bears know him with no help whatsoever. They don't know him in a team like the Rams with a defense.
That's what I'm saying. It depends how
line.
much coaching has actually gone into Stafford over the last 3 months.
Right.
But, he's been in the NFL for 10 years or something, so 12 years. So is he fairly fixed in his ways that he can only do certain things? It's a big move for him. They gave up a lot for him.
Right.
And for the Rams, it's all in this year. There's no doubt about it. From a money-wise, from a pick point of view, their draft, is a little bit depleted the next couple of years. So it's a little bit win or bust. But I do see the Rams and Washington being the championship game for the NFC. And 9-8 for the Bears.
All right. So I've got your Bears at 10-7.
Good man.
And not to sound like the guys on Twitter, but I think the Bears get to the playoffs and get pretty far. In fact, I have them going all the way to the divisional playoffs, losing to Green Bay.
Don't say that.
Just missing out on the conference championships.
You were on the right path for a while.
You were going so well.
And then Green Bay.
Put the knife in.
And like you said, I think it's Justin Fields. The flashes that we've seen from him in preseason show that he has that potential to be a star.
He is a game changer.
He's definitely a game changer. You guys have not had a good quarterback in a while.
No.
Never had a quarterback that passed more than...
jinx it. Let's not jinx it just yet.
You can't really jinx the Chicago Bears any more than they've been jinxed for the last few years, right?
What do you mean,
had a quarterback that scored
years? Since 1985. 2006 was a good year. There's no doubt. Yeah. But, I've said how I feel they're going to do. They're going to do well. I think they're going to be really competitive. I don't think they're going to get blown out. I think once a year they get blown out, but I can't see where that's going to be. I think they're going to do better than the Panthers. So that's another question, really, is how do you feel Carolina are going to do?
I really don't know. It's one of those divisions that I haven't been able to figure out. And I'm more confident about things going wrong for Tampa Bay than I am for things going well for Carolina. For some reason, yes, it's Tom Brady. Yes, they've had an excellent run to the Super Bowl last year and they won the whole thing. But for some reason, I have a feeling that something falls apart this year for Tampa Bay. And for Carolina, I'm hoping for a winning record. We haven't had a winning record in a while. I think the reason why I'm a bit hopeful for that winning record is that last year we lost a lot of close games. So the record did not show the work that had gone in, the coaching that had gone in, and it just came down to really individual plays that decided the game. So I think there were about 4 or 5 games where we lost by less than a touchdown. So I think this year, I believe in Matt Rule. I think he's a great coach. Sam Darnold, it's almost impossible to judge what kind of quarterback he's going to be, because he was with the Jets, and anybody who's with the Jets is not going to get the support they need. So I'm going to go with the expectation.
Sorry.
No, I'm saying I'm going with the expectations that I had of Sam Darnold when he was drafted, which is he's a solid quarterback, good arm, good decision making, needs a little bit of time to make those decisions. So needs that, the offensive line to give him that extra half a second to be able to make a good decision. I think with McCaffrey coming back,
that's huge for you.
That's going to be huge. I think Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore in the wide receiver core are it's easy to underestimate them. So I'm hopeful for a 10-7 record. If we get a 9-8, I'll be happy. And if we just get a wild card to go to the playoffs, I'll be happy with that. The team in our division that I think everybody is sleeping on is Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they've got Mike Davis, our running back from previous
Chicago,
years,
of course,
who did an excellent job filling in for McCaffrey. I think they've got Calvin Ridley. Matt Ryan is still Matt Ryan, So I think that Atlanta could be the dark horse. In fact, I'm picking them as the team that everybody's sleeping on. Surprise team. I was debating between them and Miami as my surprise team, but I think I'll go with Atlanta.
I've got Miami down as a surprise team.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've got a feeling that Buffalo are going to get the division, but Miami could get a wild card out of it.
I'm actually going with the Pats, as weird as that sounds. To have the Pats as a surprise team.
It's a big year for Bill Belichick. It's a very big year for Bill Belichick, yeah.
And look, they've spent a lot on the offseason trying to build that team up. And, he obviously wants to show that it's not a team without Brady. I mean, it's not Brady that carried the team. So I think they could be a surprise team.
Were you surprised that
Hightower back as well?
Were you surprised that, sorry to interrupt, Cam Newton was cut?
No.
No money.
Speaking of Cam Newton, I struggle to see him play as a starter in the NFL this year. Somebody would have to get injured
badly.
Yeah,
and a team that's stuck with no backup, or maybe even like the starter and the backup have to get injured and then consider Cam Newton.
I actually think there are better choices around, such as Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Who, he's not spectacular. He's very solid. And Chicago would
he'll do the job. He'll get the job done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's a shame for Cam Newton.
Much with him.
That's the thing. And even if you look at his social media posts since he was cut, with the hats and the cigars and the black and white, and
don't hate him for that.
Funky Friday and all of that stuff. I mean, and I think that was his downfall. It's not the fact that he wasn't performing. I think he hasn't focused enough on the game. He's got so much going on outside of the game. He's always worried about his social media stuff. He's trying to, I think he knows that with the shoulder injuries that he's had in the last few years. He is trying to create a brand outside of football while still playing football.
His time is near. Let's face it, when he's going to have to go on and do something else. Is he going to go into commentary, media, whatever?
Haberdashery.
Haberdashery, absolutely. Hats.
That's where he's going, yeah.
Yeah, hats. So.
Yeah. Cams, Habs.
I struggle to see him starting. Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Unfortunate, because he could have been an elite quarterback in the NFC, at least.
So this is the thing now because I think what Cam has done is trying to mimic, previous running quarterbacks games like Michael Vick, and the problem with Cam is that he didn't know when to go for that extra yard and when to kind of
leave it alone.
Leave it alone, right? And I think young quarterbacks now have learned from that lesson. So if you look at Justin Fields, who's very mobile right now, and he can move around, and he'll be a bit more conscious of that. So for that 2 extra 3 yards to risk taking a big hit, he probably wouldn't make that choice. Although in the preseason, there was a couple of times where he actually lunged forward and almost got hurt. But I think Cam Newton is a cautionary tale for all running quarterbacks on how to make sure that they pace themselves out and have some longevity to their careers. Because the season we went to the Super Bowl, we had injuries all around. He pretty much carried the team on his back. And if he could pass the ball to himself, he would have done it. But he ended up just running his way to the Super Bowl. So yeah, good luck to him.
Yeah, I don't wish him any ill, but I agree with you. I can't see him starting again.
Yeah.
So maybe his career's done.
Lost his way.
So who do we think is going to be in the NFC Championship game?
What do we all have, you said, again?
Well, I've gone for the Rams and Washington.
I've gone for Green Bay and Washington.
I think I went Tampa and
Rams.
Who did I go for? Rams,
yeah.
And preseason predictions always look silly when you
end up with.
By the time you get to week 3, week 4, and you look back and you're like, no, that's not going to happen.
Now you'll know. In week 4, you will know what's happening.
End of October, I think.
Yeah. So I think predictions probably make a little bit more sense after like 4 or 5 weeks that pass.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the 17-game season?
I prefer 17 games.
One less preseason game. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about injuries,
Well, if they get injured now, it's in a meaningful game as opposed to a meaningless game.
Right.
There's always going to be injuries. I wasn't a fan of 4 preseason games. I thought the last one was just dreadful.
Yeah.
It was guys playing for their living, so we can't ignore that.
Yep.
It's the process, right? And it's quite brutal because you go from 80-something players to 53. I mean, that's
It's tough.
Yeah.
And some of them will play their hearts out in that week 3 game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they must.
But unfortunately, it's an entertainment business as well. And preseason 4 wasn't a turn on for the fans. It was a business game as opposed to a fans game. And that's why I don't think it'll be missed. So it's interesting, 17 games. I do think within a few years it'll be 18 games.
You think so?
Yeah, because money.
Because money.
Yeah.
Because money, y'all.
And, television and advertising and everything else. I do think they'll make an adjustment to the rosters from 53 up to 57 or something, maybe 60, but probably 57, 58. They're going to give 17 games a couple of years and then they're going to start talking about 18, is my opinion.
Yeah.
So
I think my camera is realizing that I'm too hopeful for my Panthers, and it's trying to blur me out of the conversation. Okay. So you've guys got, so when we talk about the conference championship game for the NFC, Green Bay, Washington is mine. Yours is
Rams,
Washington as well. Yeah.
Rams, Washington for both of you. How about the AFC?
Buffalo, Baltimore.
That's a given. Buffalo, yeah.
Buffalo and
Baltimore.
Same here. So this is quite
I think it's important to say that we all made our picks independently before.
But see, this is the thing. We're all saying that Tampa Bay, well, apart from Ujita, but Tampa Bay and Kansas City are both not going to even make the championship games.
I think I said Tampa. I said
you did say Tampa. That's what I'm saying. Apart from you, but me and Mark both said, we were predicting that Tampa nor Kansas City are making it to the championship game.
I just think Buffalo, now they've got Trubisky, of course, they're much stronger than they were.
No bitterness at all.
No, I don't.
How would you feel if Mitch Trubisky just like kills it this year?
Well, first of all, that would mean an injury. So for him to get any starts, so I wouldn't feel good about the injury. But I've got no ill against him at all. I think coaching let him down. I don't think he's a great quarterback. He showed flashes in 2018, but he didn't ever progress. And that was the frustration from Bears fans, that he showed he could do some stuff. And then in the last 20 games that he played, he wasn't good. Generally, overall.
He might get his chance because Josh Allen does play a bit of a dangerous game sometimes.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I think he'll be really serviceable because Buffalo is such a good team and they're well coached and they've got a lot of weapons and they can
Speaking of coaching, it's a big year for Matt Nagy.
Huge.
It is, because he's got everything that he wanted. I wish he was on the chopping block. Genuinely, I think he should be. The Bears seem comfortable with him, the upper echelon management, the owners. I think he's got one more year after this, unless this year is a complete disaster, like a 3 or 4 win.
Right.
And he keeps Dalton in for 8 games, 9 games, and they're losing games. And he doesn't put Justin Fields in. He's going to lose the locker room, and he's going to lose the fans very quickly if they're losing.
Would he even enter Chicago if that happens? Could he?
Probably not. Probably not. So, but I don't think they're going to start dreadfully. As I said earlier, I think they're going to, first 4 games, they should split at worst. So I think they can beat the Bengals at home, and I think they can beat the Lions at home. If they don't, then the season's looking...
Ideally, when would you like to see Fields start?
Probably week 2. Honestly.
That quickly, huh?
I think he's ready. From everything I've seen, let him...
You just don't want him to go up against the Rams. Let Andy Dalton take that.
Let's just take out Dalton. Everything is good. Bring in Fields.
No, but everyone's talking about Aaron Donald week 1 and so on and so forth. But I think Fields would do better than Andy Dalton week 1. So should I be saying that he should start week 1? No, not necessarily. I just think let him stew on the sideline. Let him get upset, if you like. Let him play a little bit angry from week 2. And that's cool. That's cool. I don't think Andy Dalton's going to light it up. And as soon as he starts throwing more than 2 interceptions on Sunday night, he's got a major, major issue. And Matt Nagy's got a big decision to make very quickly.
I wonder what the odds on the interceptions are.
Interesting. When we come back on this in a week or so, and we'll be able to look back on the first game or 2.
Yeah.
I think the discussion is going to be very different. But I would like him to start the home opener. I really would.
Mark's got a love-hate relationship with this first game for the Bears, yeah?
Yeah.
Really not sure.
I don't think they're going to get blown out. I just don't. There's been a lot of changes in Los Angeles. They might be super duper fired up. Who knows? Who knows? But I think the Bears are a decent team.
Care to share a score?
2023 Bears.
Wow. All right.
Reasonable. I'm expecting a low-scoring game. I'm going for 17-10 to the Rams. Yeah.
It could be a defensively pretty good game.
Yeah. I think defensively it's going to be a good game. Yeah.
Great game to watch. I'm really looking forward to it.
Is that an early one?
No, it's a late game Sunday. Late game Sunday. It's the primetime game Sunday night, Sunday evening. So I think it's...
Which team do you guys think is expected to do well but will fall on their face this year?
Well, according to you guys, KC. Not fall on their face, but
just not achieve.
Yeah.
I've actually got KC doing okay during the regular season. Have them winning the West with a record of 12-5 and getting all the way to the divisional playoffs to lose to the Buffalo Bills. So I think it's going to be one of those kind of exciting playoff games that results in them getting out. The team for me that I think everybody's expecting to to do well in their division, but I have them finishing last in their division, is Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah.
And that also links to the coach I feel would want to move on, is Mike Tomlin. I don't think he'll get fired. I think he'll have such a bad season that he'd want to move on.
Do you think Ben will be done after this season?
And I think Ben will be done after.
Yeah, I mean, how long can Ben carry this team?
Yeah,
that's it. But I don't think Tomlin go. I haven't seen him on the chopping block anywhere.
I think it's going to be him wanting a different challenge.
You think
because
so? This season,
it's been a few years of underachieving. Yeah, scraping by, and I think he needs a change of scenery. And
interesting.
There were some discussions in the past. Is Mike Tomlin, going to be done? Is this his last chance? Should he do something out of the ordinary to stay on with Pittsburgh? But I think it's going to be one of those mutual kind of breakups.
I'll believe that when Mike Zimmer is gone.
I think Mike Zimmer's got an issue this year because
we talk about this every season, but this is Mike Zimmer's season.
No,
Bill O'Brien, Mike Zimmer.
I think the team that will underachieve this year. You've gone AFC, I'm going NFC, and you'll hate this, but I think Green Bay. And I don't think Green Bay.
What a surprise, Mark.
No, but I just think there's been an awful lot of turmoil up there. I really.
Oh yeah.
They've had big issues, so I think that they're going to be not the runaway winners of the North. I think they're going to get pegged back. I've said the Bears 9-8, but I'm trying to be a bit conservative there. I might even go as far as saying Green Bay won't have a winning record this year.
Wow.
Okay, so who gets the North then?
I think Chicago does. But it won't be it's not going to be a sort of 12-5 or something like that. I just think that they're going to struggle against other teams out of the division. So but I'm confident that the Bears are going to do well in the division.
I like this optimism.
So
I couldn't even say the word optimism. That's how much I like it. I like it. I don't think I've seen you this optimistic since the double doink
in years.
We don't talk double doink. I've said
we don't talk
before.
Double doink. All right.
I've made my position very clear on the double doink.
You don't like the doinks, do you?
I don't like a single doink, and a double doink.
Let alone a double one.
Yes, we don't.
But it's good. It's good to see you have this optimism.
I just think they've got a decent.
It's been
roster.
a while.
They've got a decent roster, and of course, the optimism is Justin Fields based.
Yeah,
it really is.
I mean, we saw. I also think preseason games. He looked really good.
I also think David Montgomery does a great job for you guys as a running back.
I think he's underrated.
I think this is the year that he breaks out. I feel
the guy that's going to get the headlines on defense this year will be Roquan Smith. Just keep an eye out for him. His stats are awesome, and he didn't get in the top 100 or something. It was just ridiculous.
He'll come in with a.
He's a linebacker, wonderful talent, great player. So I think he's going to make some big moves this year. He's going to play upset. He's already said he's playing upset. So
yeah, that's where you want your defense.
Play angry. Get noticed, be a star. So I think Bears can do all right. Green Bay won't. UGT, have you said your team? You think KC? No, you said KC are going to do all right. Who's your underachieving team?
What did I say?
Don't know.
What did I get? Was it Pittsburgh or?
Pittsburgh was mine. Was my pick.
You can go Pittsburgh.
You can go. Yeah.
Okay, so Pittsburgh and Green Bay. So, they're big names, let's face it. Big names.
So, see, I was the
big names.
So I've actually got three. So I've got Pittsburgh as one. I've got San Francisco not doing well this year. And I've got Tennessee, who everybody seems to think they're going to break out this year. I don't have them having a winning record or reaching the playoffs. So those are my three flops of the season.
San Francisco,
Right.
they're starting with Jimmy G.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. Coach again is going to be under pressure there, Shanahan. So we've got.
But he's still a good coach, you know. I mean, I actually think the Niners might do something good this year. It could be a surprise team. You go with flop, I'm going with surprise.
We'll see. You know, that's the beauty.
It's a tough division to call. I mean, you've got the Rams, you've got Arizona with Hopkins this year, and Kyler Murray with the second year in the NFL, so he's going to come into his own a bit more. You've got Seattle. You can never.
Arizona's on the. Did they get in AJ Green right this season? Arizona.
Did they?
I mean,
where AJ Green is. I think you might be right.
Yeah. So this is where the coach is under pressure in Arizona as well. So he's got the people in place, and what's his name, Cliff or Kling or something like that. So he's got the pieces in place. So he's going to have to prove himself. Now, there are no excuses for him.
Yeah.
But he's one of the coaches on the chopping block.
Let's wrap it up with MVP talk. Now, we put a rule when we said we're going to select our MVP. We said we have to select an MVP that's not called Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
But judging by the conversation we're having right now, doesn't seem like we have high hopes for Mahomes anyways this year.
I think he could do well. I'm just not convinced KC will do as well as they've done the last few years.
Yeah. So, who's your MVP?
We saw some kinks in the armor of Mahomes last season, especially in the Super Bowl and stuff. So, who knows?
And
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, interesting.
Yeah.
See, for me,
it's not really interesting because we know that Buffalo is going to go all the way, and who's going to carry them? It's going to be Josh Allen mainly.
I disagree. I think that Josh Allen is going to have a good regular season, but he's really going to shine in the playoffs. So I don't think, because the MVP is judging by the regular season.
So league MVP.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers to do a repeat. As much as you'd hate that, Mark, but I think this year he's.
What?
This is pretty much.
You heard Mark.
This is pretty much a contract year for Aaron Rodgers, right? I think
it's his final year in Green Bay.
Yeah. So it's a contract year. So contract year is usually used for guys that are hoping to get another bigger contract somewhere else. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to have trouble doing that, but he'll be playing to make a statement. And he showed last year that despite things going wrong, despite a lot of disagreements with the coaching and the ownership and the draft and all of that kind of stuff, and Green Bay habitually not giving him the pieces that he needs to get that Super Bowl, I think he plays angry this year, and he'll make a statement. So I'm going with Aaron Rodgers with a repeat.
I'm going with Baltimore Lamar. I think he's going to have a cracking season. I'm really, really it's one of those things, pre-season, you look forward to certain things. I just think he's going to have a great season. I hope so, because
but do you think with the running back troubles that they've been having pre-season, they lost J.K. Dobbins, and I think they just recently signed, who was it?
Yeah, they did. And his name I've forgotten, but I just think that puts him under more pressure. And and he's almost like a running back. And he's got some decent weapons, and I just feel this is his year. And if Buffalo weren't so strong, they would get to the Super Bowl. This is preseason talk, but I just think Buffalo are just that bit too deep for Baltimore to beat them in the championship game. And I think the championship game between Buffalo and Baltimore will be.
It's going to be a cracker.
Yeah,
absolutely epic. It really will. You guys.
And I think as a backup running back as well, Le'Veon Bell. I just checked it now, so they got Le'Veon Bell.
That's it. Yeah,
you never know. The guy
trouble.
Might be. He's trouble, but he hasn't really played for a while.
Yeah.
At least not as a starter. So no injuries. I think he'll be coming in. I mean, if he's done enough work in the offseason, he could fill that gap for them. But let's see. They've got a good tight ends. They've got Mark Andrews at tight end. He can block, he can catch. So You're right. Maybe.
I just think he's going to be wonderful to watch. I really do. I hope so.
Non-QB MVP.
Roquan Smith.
QB.
You said it already.
Yeah.
Mohammed, I'm actually thinking Christian McCaffrey. I have the feeling he's going to come back and have the greatest.
When was the last time a running back won MVP in the NFL? We should look that up. I mean,
we'll answer that in the
Probably
next
Megatron or I don't
did
know.
Megatron win MVP? I don't think he did.
Just putting it out there.
So yeah, let's
We'll look it up and we'll post it with the pod as an answer.
anybody's watching can post it in the comments and save us some time.
If anyone's watching, so.
If-
So
I'm watching.
Super Bowl champions, who have we got?
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
And we all made our picks completely independent.
absolutely.
No, well, the thing is, not everybody has the confidence in KC, Tampa Bay, or Baltimore, right? Everybody's got confidence in Buffalo. Seems like the easiest choice.
I just think they're such a good team. They're going to have to get decimated with injuries for them not to win it all.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. And I don't want that for any team.
Right.
Maybe for Green Bay.
Under what circumstances do you think Tom Brady calls it a day and retires at the end of the season? And what circumstances do you think he carries on?
He gets hurt, he'll retire.
That's the obvious one. Yeah.
And I think if there's strife in the ranks in Tampa, that they don't get to
doesn't look like
them because financially they've really managed that roster well, but this is the end of that circle of money. I can't see Gronk playing again after this year, and so I just feel that this is it for Tampa. If they do really, really well, maybe he'll go on. He's contracted to go on. But,
2 years, isn't it?
Yeah. I think losing record and or injury, or he feels that he's not playing up to where he should be playing.
Running out of avocados.
Yeah.
No, I mean, when they ended up winning the Super Bowl, you're like, yeah, of course it's Tom Brady and, he's the greatest of all time and all of that. But it was such a weird story if you think about it. I mean, if somebody had told you that Antonio Brown at the beginning of last season is going to end up with a Super Bowl ring, you wouldn't believe it.
It was an incredible season. No fans in the stands, no nothing. Yeah. It was just a weird year, but they made the most of it. And good luck to them. Good luck to them. But I can't see them repeating.
Yeah. Well, I would love that not to happen, given that they're in our division. But yeah. Good stuff.
Cool.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, looking forward to to chatting to you guys over the season.
You gonna stay up to watch the game then, Mohammed?
I think I will. It's gonna be like.
I think I'll see a quarter or two, I guess.
Well, my NFL Game Pass renewed itself. I didn't know.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I mean, just snuck up on us,
Yeah, I mean, the missus was looking at the credit card statement, saying, "Well, what's this big item?" I don't know. I mean, it just
you can't say no to the NFL.
Tried emailing them, tried canceling it. They didn't reply, so I guess we're gonna have to watch.
Tried calling them,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a great
and stuff.
It's gonna be great.
No, it's gonna be.
It
good.
will be.
Looking forward to it.
Really forward to it. Yeah.
I
really
get your
picks in, Mohammed. I see you get your picks in. No, you didn't.
No, I need to get my picks in. I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that right away.
Yeah. Well, if you're not picking the Thursday game, that's fine.
Well, since you're indirectly trying to plug your fantasy website, why don't you tell us?
I'm doing it directly. I'm not doing it indirectly. This is as direct as I can get.
I'm going to stop recording.
Yeah,
that'll be good. That'll be great. All right. Thanks, Mohammed. That was great.
Awesome.
See you guys. Take care.
See you guys.
See you, Mark. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.